Welcome to the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show with the icon, the voice of the SVC, lifetime voice of the SVC, Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Paint Valley and Unioto going at it Friday night.
Should be a dandy. A lot of memories, some even before I could remember, but I'm reading about in the history books, but we can talk more about that here in after bed.
Someone may make history Friday night.
The winner will definitely get no worse than a share of the SVC championship.
Yeah, so it's a big game. You've got two teams that come in with one loss on the season. Between the two of them, that'd be two losses, but identical 7-1 marks. But they're unscathed in SVC play. And for those of you wondering, and roll the tape, we do have the highlight video for you from the Unioto Sherman's bout with the Zane Trace Pioneers last weekend. If you missed that game, you can take a look at our video to see some of the highlights and how it progressed. But it started right off the bat with Ashton Trace with a 90-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, that's one of those bang, drop the mic moments. But there was a big play also that ended the game.
Right.
That took it to the house. So.
But there's never a feeling like after a kickoff return has been taken back for a touchdown on the opening kickoff, you take a look at that clock and it's most generally setting at 11:47, and somebody has scored something, and that's just hard to believe how quickly things can happen.
Yeah. Of course, Zane Trace came right back on a long 15-play drive and scored to tie it up, but it was really close. 27-14 was the final, but that last score was what made the.
But it was 14-14,
right,
with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, 3:10.
And then the pass that Newt Hoops had over to help me remember who scored the touchdown.
Oh, that was Cutright.
Yes,
Caden
Cutright made that reception. That made it 21-14. St. Trace just did not have that ability to come back with a quick strike, and created difficulty for him there. So that set up this contest tonight with Paint Valley and Unioto. It's being played out in western Ross County.
Which I believe was where they were playing in 1969 when undefeated Paint Valley beat undefeated Unioto and snapped Unioto's 31-game win streak. Some guy named Dave Yenger played for the Shermans at that time.
Later for the Bobcats of Ohio and the Chicago Bears. Yeah. So this rivalry goes back a long way, and of course the long history the Paint Valley has had with championships over the years. Unioto's had championships over the years, but you were bringing to light something that Unioto, if they win, they've not had a championship in the SVC for how many years?
25. They shared the championship in 1998 with Adena. Some guy named Ben Hartsock was playing for the Shermans that year. That's how long it's been. Paint Valley has not won one since 2018. So that's 5 years as opposed to 25 years.
Yeah. A lot of history involved in this. Of course, the guys that are on the teams now are saying, hey, that was then. This is now.
Then and now, yeah.
So we're going to hear from the coaches coming your way here in just a moment. We'll hear first from Matt Hoops. He is the coach of the Unioto Shermans. Corey Dye is standing by as well with the Paint Valley Bearcats. And coming up later in the program, we'll announce this week's Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you would like to make a nomination of your own, visit our website, littermedia.com, click where it says Players of the Week, and you'll see who all has received recognition so far, and you can make your nomination, and this is going to go through the end of this year for a Player of the Year, and they'll get a nice award. Looking forward to that day.
Good deal.
Coming up in December. All that is just ahead here on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show, right after this.
At Country Clipper, pride runs deep. We take pride in knowing our mowers help create a space for families to make memories. That our features transform mowing into an enjoyable experience. Most importantly, We take pride in knowing the decision to purchase a Country Clipper will be one you can be proud of for years to come. Country Clipper zero-turn mowers.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
At Rathkamp Financial, we act as your advocate in all wealth matters. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Well, the Unioto Shermans are taking on the Paint Valley Bearcats. Coach, you were at home. Now you're on the road. Different circumstances when you go on the road, but let's first look back at your win over Zane Trace. How big was that for your ball club?
Obviously it was a huge win. It kept us in the conference race. It kept us being able to control our own destiny. It was a win over our rival. It was a win on senior night. So, yes, it was a very big win.
And what a start. You have the Ashton Grace goes 90 yards for the touchdown. And that I thought was going to set the tone for the night, but it did not. The defense came in, played pretty well for St. Trace. They got a score, and next thing you know, you're going into the locker room tied at the half. What was your message to the kids to get them ready to go for the second half?
Well, a lot of times you say you want to come out of the half like it's 0-0. So it was that was the message. It was 7-7. So basically the same thing. We felt like our defense played really well. Felt like our offense was good in some areas, but weren't consistent enough to maintain drives and score. So we just really challenged our guys at halftime to be the more physical team, dominate the line of scrimmage, try to wear them out a little bit, and felt like our defense had played extremely well in the first half. Gave up that one touchdown on the opening drive, but I think they had to go 14 plays and 50 yards to do it. So we felt like, our defense was as good as it was going to be, and we knew that they were going to be better in the second half because they had some confidence and just needed our offense to get more consistent. And, we were able to do that.
KB Perkins with the big hands made a difference, I think, in the ball game. But what about Ethan Summer and the way he ran the ball in the second half? He was nearly non-existent in the first half. Second half, he comes out and charges right through and puts you in good positions.
Yeah, and we've kind of been a little bit better of a second half team this year for whatever reason, and I think Ethan just realized how important the running game was going to be in the second half, because kind of challenged our guys to win up front, and if they were going to do their job, then he needed to do his job. And I think both of those guys, the offensive line and Ethan, ran the ball extremely well and put us in a really good position.
Visiting with Matt Hoops, coach of the Unioto Shermans, who now take on Paint Valley. We'll switch gears and we'll start talking about the Bearcats now. And when you talk Bearcats, you're talking their running game. Braylon Robertson, he is a load for many defenses that he faces.
Yeah, no doubt. They do a really good job putting him in positions to be really successful. They're good up front with their offensive line. I feel like their quarterback has improved each week. He has played, and they have a really good wide receiver in Carson Free too. So they're able to hurt you in more ways than one, but they definitely lean on their running game. We know that we're going to have to prepare for all aspects of their offense.
You come into a game like this, you go on the road, and emotions play such a huge part in these types of games. Your kids kept themselves well behaved, so to speak, and focused Friday night. What about going into this game with Paint Valley?
Yeah, I don't think our message changes at all. We talked all week long about just being focused on the task at hand and focusing on ourselves and one play at a time, knowing that, every play wasn't going to be a successful play. It's just not when you play against really good teams. And we talked about the team that handled adversity the best. And we talked about who was going to make plays, because when games are so evenly matched, you're going to have players step up and make plays. And fortunately for us, our guys did that on last Friday, and we know it's going to be the same this Friday. Our focus is going to have to even be greater because of the fact that we are on the road. So I think our guys are capable of that. I think they're looking forward to that. A couple people have asked me, how does it feel to play St. Trace Paint Valley back to back? In my opinion, I wouldn't want it any other way, because they're already in that frame of mind and that mindset. So, I think this is going to be a good thing for us.
Yeah, you squeeze a game or two in between these two games, and you might lose some of that focus. And if they're already charged up, let's just keep riding the momentum, right?
That's right. I think Newton said it best after the game on Friday. I heard one of his interviews. He talked about just kind of feeding off of this and building off of it. So, if the players are already thinking that way, we've got them in the right direction. We have to keep them thinking that way.
Good luck to you Friday. We'll see you then.
Okay, thank you.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
Well, you heard from Coach Matt Hoops, and I think one thing, Mike, is the Shermans and Bearcats get ready to go at it. What happens in the trenches is going to be very key. We know the skill positions are weaponry full, and I know they're dangerous, but it's in the trenches to be able to make some things happen.
Yeah, one of the things that really impressed me about seeing Paint Valley the first time, well, of course, Braylon Robinson, that kid is just all over the field. We're not able to track what we do offensively as well as track tackles, but I know he had to have had against Westfall between 15 and 20 tackles that night.
Yeah.
He was all over and that was the night he had 200 and some yards rushing.
Right. And then followed that up with 300-plus yards and 7 touchdowns the next weekend. And, if something happens to Braylon Robertson, I don't know that they have someone to step right in to where he plugs that hole. But so much is expected from him. But going into that, is that where Paint Valley says, okay, let's step away from this just a little bit to give you a breather because we know you're going to be busy defensively? Do they give a little more time to the running attack to somebody else to help out there?
Well, I think you got to ride the horse that took you.
Absolutely.
So I think Unioto is going to be, sometimes they refer to a spy on defense, where that guy is assigned to no one on the field but the dude. So I think they're going to focus on him, which means if you are loading up the box to try to stop that, then Paint Valley's throwing game has to be effective in order to keep Unioto's defense honest.
Yeah. We know previous records show statistically that Unioto has an excellent passing game. Paint Valley has an effective passing game. You've got a young sophomore quarterback in Preston Farber, and so keeping an eye on how he progresses along and controls the atmosphere of his game. But with Robertson, with Free, that front line, how they block for them to be able to have the Bearcats move the football is going to be key. For Unioto on the other side of that, they've got multiple running backs they can go to. We saw it with Ethan Summer. He is the man that makes that offensive go in the running game. Then the Dollison kid, comes in. He gives you a look, and then Ty Woods came in. He created some excitement last Friday, but then again, there's Blake Hoops out there, and there again is another weapon over here to be able to throw the ball to. So this has all the potential for being a high-scoring contest, but also has the defensive struggle in it too,
which we saw last week. That was more of a defensive game. With all the hype of Unioto's passing game, I was pleasantly surprised to see how well they ran the ball. I wasn't expecting them to run as effectively as they did because of all the hype on the passing game. So when you throw a balanced attack out there, that is hard to stop. So both teams have put up a lot of points, but at times in certain games, both teams have given up a lot of points. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, when you look back at what Unioto did offensively last weekend, they did have I think it was at 310. They had the touchdown reception, but they had a running touchdown. Outside of that, though, Zane Trace did a great job keeping them out of the end zone.
Right.
You had the kickoff return for a touchdown, the interception return to close the game for a touchdown. So outside of that, it was a defensive struggle, I think, on both sides.
Yeah, I think Zane Trace might have been a little bit one-dimensional compared to Paint Valley. I think Paint Valley's passing game might be a little bit more effective to go with that strong running game, which would be a benefit for the Bearcats. But, defense showed up on both sides of the ball last week.
One thing we can't take away from this is it's a big matchup.
Yeah.
And it's two teams going head-to-head. One of them will come out with at least a share of the SVC championship. And according to Coach Corey Dye, there's a lot of credit to be spread around amongst both teams.
Yeah, credit goes to Unioto. They've had an outstanding year. Credit goes to our kids. They've had an outstanding year. So this is why we play the game, and our kids are pretty excited for this opportunity, as I'm sure Unioto kids are as well.
You both have pitched some shutouts here of late and had some things going well for your defense. They struggled in the first half against St. Trace, but St. Trace played decent defense against them last week. So now it's a matter of, is it a struggle defensively? Who plays the best defense wins?
The team that scores the least amount of points, is definitely going to be the team that doesn't win. So, we want our kids to be able to play good, solid defense. Key is trying to contain their guys. They got so many weapons on offense. They've got a great deal of running backs. They've got about 3 or 4 guys that they're rotating in there, and they got a lot of receivers that they utilize. But the key is Newton Hoops, man. He is the nucleus of that offense. He's a great player. He makes really good decisions with the ball. So I think all in all, we've got to make sure that we contain him and not let them break off big plays on us, and then obviously try to keep their offense off the field.
Both of you perform well with the running game and passing game, but I think the running game probably you've got the advantage in. And you've got a quarterback who's really starting to learn the system now, and that has to be a positive for you going in.
Yeah, from week 1 all the way to now, I feel like Preston's really grown as a quarterback. It takes a while. He's still a sophomore to adapt to the speed of the game. And he's been able to do that, and not only that, adjust to a new system. But like I said, he's done a great job with that, and been really proud of him.
All 3 phases of the game are always important, but up front, that is where a strength is, I think, perhaps for Unioto, being able to go, platoon people in and out, get some breathers. They've got some big fellas that can get some hands in the way of passes, too.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, up front, they're about as big as it gets, and our kids know that, and they know that it's definitely going to be a challenge. But our kids at Paint Valley are pretty tough, and we've faced a couple of big lines this year and done really well. But yeah, you're right. The game is won in the trenches, and not only do we have to stop them, we've got to be able to get the job done in the trenches. And I think our kids are up for the challenge.
And the home field advantage. You know all about playing here. You've got the turf, you got everything going for you, and you've got a decent record here at home right now.
Yeah, so far we're undefeated, at home, which is a good thing. We should have a really large crowd. We've had a great crowd all year, to be honest, but I think this one is going to be extra big. But we're really looking forward to that, and like you said, like playing at home, it does create somewhat of an advantage. But at the end of the day, once that ball's kicked off, it's all about just getting the job done.
Heavyweights in the SVC going out of this weekend. Good luck to you.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Corey Dye and the Paint Valley Bearcats, and so there you have it. You lay it all out on line, and it's like, guys, we've played all this summer, all this to get to this one game. And it's all about an SVC championship.
And as we have noted on a few of the broadcasts, when the discussion of playoff points comes up, the coaches will always say, we're after the conference championship first. However, being that this is week 9, you can't ignore it anymore. Unioto is 4th in their region. Paint Valley is 3rd in there. Now they're in different divisions. Paint Valley, well, both teams would pick up a ton of points with a win. Paint Valley would stand to gain even more with a win because they're in a smaller division beating a Division 2 up from them. So a lot of playoff points on the line. Yeah, if you're in the top 16, you get in, but you want to host on week 1.
Yeah, and you have to be in the top 8. Right. To be able to host. So, and it would be a return situation for both of them, right? Because both of them hosted the first round last year.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
So, all right. Coming up in just a moment, we will have our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. There's a tie-in there for one of these two schools in this week's announcement. So that's coming up right after these words on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Each week during this football season, we started back in August, and we're going to continue this through the end of this year. But then every week next year as well, we will be announcing a Player of the Week, presented by our friends at Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual Insurance. And this week, we go golfing.
4. Yeah, a young man that has been the 3-time SVC Player of the Year. And for the first time in his 4 years of high school golf, he has made it to the state tournament. We're talking about Unioto's Charlie Lewis. And Charlie will be among a group of student athletes that are headed to the state tournament tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And practice rounds today.
That's correct.
And Charlie was on at halftime with us during the broadcast last Friday night at Unioto. And he had eye black on and everything. He didn't look like a golfer.
I'm not sure what the eye black was for.
Well, he was part of the crew that was out there cheering on the team.
Oh, okay.
And,
Gotcha.
in fact, I saw him on Gridiron Glory, and one of the reporters was up in the crowd interviewing him, not realizing I'm talking to a golfer who's going to a state tournament this week.
Yeah.
But at any rate, practice rounds today. They're playing up outside of Delaware.
North Star, yeah.
Okay. So I think that's Delaware County, if I'm not mistaken, just across the Franklin County line. Mm-hmm. So he's got a trip to make to get up there, but it will be a trip worthwhile if he comes back with some hardware.
Yeah. There's some other kids as well, but we're talking about the athlete of the week, so that's Charlie Lewis.
Yeah, so congratulations, Charlie, and maybe Granddad will be happy to hear this
sure he will.
word as well. Yeah. One of our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Players of the Week. Now, if you go to our website, littermedia.com, click on Players of the Week, and you'll see where, first of all, you can nominate your athlete or see who has received that. We started with golf, the young lady from
Elena
Circleville.
Seeley, yeah.
And now here with Charlie Lewis picking up the award this week. So congratulations, kids. And again, send your nominations to us. If you want to throw some statistical information in there too, that'd be fine. We only ask that you don't nominate a pro athlete.
No Joe Burrows.
No. But before Joe Burrow became who Joe Burrow is today, would still be eligible.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
All right. Thank you for your nominations this year, and keep those coming in to us as well. All right, coming up in a moment, our final segment here on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
I think you used the phrase last week at some point in time, Mike, the words of one Marty Brenneman, the great Cincinnati Reds baseball announcer, a titanic struggle.
Yeah.
And that's what we are looking at on a Friday night out Bainbridge Way.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of great football games out there over the years. Many of them were for conference championships. But like we said at the outset of the program, it's been 25 years since Unioto has won an SVC football championship. They can clinch a share of that tomorrow. Paint Valley, it's been since 2018 since they were 10-0 that year in the regular season under then-coach Pete Holland. So 5 years is a long time to wait, but 25 years, these kids weren't even alive when the last time. And again, Ben Hartsock was playing for Unioto then.
I was going to say, was Coach Hoops a player at that time?
No, Matt's a little older than that.
That's right. Yeah.
He was an early 90s kid, yeah.
Well, good luck to both teams, Paint Valley and the Unioto Shermans. The Bearcats, always great hosts, and we're looking forward to being there on a media side of things. So thank you again for making room for us and allowing us to roam the sidelines at this fantastic facility at Paint Valley High School.
Yeah.
All right. Again, Litter Media radio coverage with Tom Beard joining Mike Smith up in the booth, and we'll be down on the field to catch some of the action as well. So until then, have a great night, and thank you for watching Litter Media and our preview show.